Have you ever found yourself caught in a conversation where someone is so certain about something, about life, about the world, or about their own opinions, that it almost feels like you're talking to a brick wall? You know the type. They speak with absolute confidence, never wavering, as if the truth is something that can be grabbed and held tightly without room for uncertainty. But then, there's another type of person, the one who listens more than they speak, who weighs their words carefully, and who, rather than claiming to have all the answers, admits that they're still learning. The kind of person who sees every answer as a stepping stone to a greater question. The ancient philosopher Aristotle once said, "The ignorant man affirms, the wise man doubts, the sensitive man reflects." In those simple words, Aristotle encapsulates the essence of human growth. It's a reflection on how we approach knowledge, how we grow in wisdom, and how our sensitivity to the world shapes our understanding of it. Today I want us to reflect on these words together. How does this quote relate to our lives? What does it mean to affirm, to doubt, and to reflect? And perhaps most importantly, how do these actions shape the way we experience the world around us? Let me share a small story with you, something that has stuck with me for years. When I was younger, I was full of certainty. I knew the world was this or that, right or wrong. I saw things in black and white, as many of us do when we're just starting out in life. The older I've become, though, the more I realize how much I didn't know back then. It's not just about information, it's about understanding and perspective. It is about the humility that comes with the realization that there is always more to learn, always another layer to uncover. How often do we find ourselves convinced we were right about something, only to look back years later and see that our certainty was just a temporary illusion? Have you ever looked back at an argument, a decision, or a belief you held and wondered how you could have been so sure, so convinced? The truth is, the older we get, the more we learn that we don't know. And that's where wisdom begins, in the doubt. Aristotle starts with a powerful statement: "The ignorant man affirms." When I first read that, I thought it was a harsh judgment. Why would someone affirm something without knowing all the facts? But then I realized it's not just about ignorance in terms of knowledge, it's about the inner attitude we carry when we face the unknown. The ignorant person is someone who doesn't question. They rely on surface-level knowledge, on quick answers, and a rigid sense of certainty. This is the person who never asks why. They're comfortable in their world of simple answers, where every situation has an easy label. They affirm without thinking, without challenging their own assumptions. How many of us have been guilty of this? How many times have we been so quick to assert what we think we know, only to realize later that the truth was more complex than we imagined? The ignorant man isn't necessarily someone with a lack of intelligence, but rather someone who refuses to see beyond their limited perspective. But here's the thing, there's no real growth in affirming. Sure, it might feel comfortable, it might feel like you have everything figured out, but life has a way of showing us that those affirmations are often temporary. The world is too vast, too complex to fit neatly into the confines of simple answers. Then there's the wise man, the one who doubts, the one who, instead of embracing certainty, questions it. Doubt is often seen as a negative thing in our society. We're taught that certainty is a sign of strength and doubt is a sign of weakness. But what if doubt is actually a strength in disguise? The wise man doubts because doubt is the first step toward deeper understanding. Doubt allows us to open our minds and hearts to new possibilities. Doubt keeps us from becoming complacent in our beliefs. It encourages us to seek more, to search for the nuances, the contradictions, and the complexities that make life so rich and diverse. Doubt isn't about insecurity. It's about curiosity. It's about saying, I don't know everything, and I'm okay with that. It's about recognizing that there is always more to learn, more to explore, and more to understand. And with that doubt comes a humility that opens the door to wisdom. Think about the greatest thinkers of our time, the philosophers, the scientists, the poets. They were all driven by doubt. They questioned everything, and in doing so, they discovered new truths about the world, about humanity, and about the universe itself. Doubt is not the absence of belief. It's the fertile ground in which belief grows and evolves. Now, let's talk about the sensitive man. the one who reflects. In our fast-paced world, reflection often gets lost. We're so busy affirming things and doubting others that we forget to just stop and reflect. But reflection is perhaps the most important action of all. When we reflect, we look at our lives, our choices, and our thoughts from a distance. We give ourselves the space to process, to feel, to understand. Reflection isn't about finding answers. It's about sitting with the questions. It's about understanding our emotional responses, our fears, and our joys. It's about knowing that wisdom comes not just from thinking, but from feeling, from experiencing the world deeply. Reflecting also allows us to tap into something that's often overlooked: empathy. The sensitive person is able to feel the world around them, whether it's the pain of others, the joy of a child, or the beauty of nature. In reflection, we develop a deeper connection to the world and to each other. It's in the quiet moments of reflection that we can gain clarity, see things from different perspectives, and understand what truly matters in life. It is not always about having the right answers. It is about taking the time to understand the questions, to see the world with open eyes, and to cultivate a heart that's capable of deep feeling. So, what do we learn from Aristotle's words? The ignorant man affirms, the wise man doubts, and the sensitive man reflects. All three actions, affirming, doubting, and reflecting, are part of the human experience, but how we engage with them shapes who we become. When we affirm too quickly, we close ourselves off to new possibilities. But when we doubt, we open ourselves up to learning and growth. And when we reflect, we allow ourselves to understand not just the world, but ourselves. In the end, it's not about choosing one over the other. It's about finding balance. Embrace the wisdom of doubt, but don't forget to reflect on what's truly important. Allow yourself to be sensitive to the world around you, and take the time to listen, to feel, and to understand. As I reflect on this, I think of the many people in my life who have modeled these qualities. The elders who doubt, who reflect, and who, despite all they've seen, continue to learn. There is something beautiful about the wisdom that comes with age, something that I hope to carry with me as I grow, as I age, and as I continue to reflect on life's mysteries. I want to leave you with this. How do you affirm, doubt, and reflect in your own life? How do these actions shape the way you experience the world? Think about that for a moment. If you're someone who is constantly affirming, take a step back. Allow yourself the space to doubt, to question, and to wonder. And if you're someone who doubts too much, try to find that quiet space of reflection where answers aren't always needed, but understanding is. And to everyone watching today, I bless you. May you continue to grow in wisdom, in sensitivity, and in reflection. May you find peace in your doubts and joy in your reflections. And may you carry that inner light with you, no matter where life takes you. If this video has resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. How old are you and how young do people think you look? Do you affirm, doubt, or reflect more in your own life? Leave a comment and share your experience. And if you believe in carrying light within, join our community by subscribing. Thank you for being here today, and I look forward to the next time we can reflect together.